Hi everyone, I know I haven't posted a video in a while, but I'm back. So, I'm back with more coins, more things to talk about. Might be some other things in the future, maybe on my next video, but this is what we're going to start off with. So today we're going to start off with some key dates for pennies, of all the history of the pennies in the Lincoln cents. There are Indian head cents, there are Flying Eagle cents, there's large cents. There's lots of different cents that were made in history, but we're going to start off with the newest ones, the Lincoln cents. So I have my Lincoln cent book here. This is one of them. This is 1909 to 1940. So I'm going to mention some of the key dates. Now, starting off 1909, this is where you're going to find the most valuable penny of all time. So they got the 1909 VDB. That is a rare one. So let me show you what VDB means. If you look on the reverse of the coin, it says VDB there. That's the initials of the person who came up with the design of Lincoln on the obverse, Victor David Brenner. And he put his initials, but in that same year, they erased his initials. So if you find one of those coins, it's very rare, and it's still going to sell for some money. And then there's the 1909S VDB, and there was only 484,000 of them made, and that has the VDB. It's minted in San Francisco, so it's going to be worth a lot of money. That's called the king of the series because it's so rare. That's the one everyone wants. So that's a coin. If you look on Amazon, the cheapest buyer you're going to find is like $940. Normally they're worth 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, in that range. Sometimes you don't want to buy these coins on eBay because they make a lot of counterfeit coins of them. So you want to make sure you got the real thing. You probably want to bring it to a pawn shop or coin grading and check the website, or that's how you can tell, because they make a lot of counterfeit coins. And then the 1909S is rare too. There was only 1 million of them, 1,825,000 of them made. Compared to these ones, there's 101 million, 12 million, 15 million, 76 million. So that's one of the more rare ones. And so that's the main key dates. This is my first page here. There's not many key dates in the first one. The 1914D is a key date. And then you get newer, 1919, all these. There's 1919. 1924D is a key date. And then you got the 1930s and the starting of the 1940s. Let me get this situated here. And I don't think there's any key dates here. No, I'm not seeing any. So that's the 1909 to 1940 Lincoln cents. This is for most collectors, that's the one that's the least completed for them. And then the 1941 to the 1975 is probably one of the most famous books. This here is the first page. So if you look here, you see those? They're made out of steel. Now in 1943, the reason in 1943 they made them out of steel because that was the year for World War II in America, and they had to make the pennies out of steel since of copper shortages. They needed them for the people that were fighting in America. So they made them out of steel, and people say they're really rare, but you can buy any like mint mark for these for $8. But because I find a lot of 1940s, you can find these in coin rolls. You can even buy rolls of these pennies. I have the 1943 steel one and the 1943 S steel one. Another thing to look out for is when you're looking at pennies like this, you can get confused if the S mark or the D mark look similar, because I was picking out one and it was actually a S, not a D, because the S can be kind of bunched together. So let's see if you can see that one there. You can't see it well. But anyways, I thought it was a D and it's an S. Another coin to look out for is the 1955 DDO. So DDO stands for double die obverse. So the one, see the 1955? There's a 1955 double die obverse. And that means that it has doubling on the coin, so it kind of looks like there's two in one place. But you have to use a microscope to tell. And then they have the 1960s, the 1970s. These are pretty common ones because they're a little bit later, wheat cents. Memorial cents. So after 1958, the 50-year anniversary, they made the memorial reverse. So there's not many key dates here. Don't see any. And then I'm not seeing any. Okay, in the later ones here, 1974, 1974D, they had billions of them made, but that's the 1941 to 1974. And then there's the 1975 to 2013. This one pretty easy to fill up, but the key dates for this one are in the 1980. They're not really key dates, but these are the ones you have to look for. The 1982 pennies. So you have to use you have to look at the different things here. It says 1982 copper LGDT. So let me tell you what that stands for. 1982, that's the year. The COP, that stands for copper, and there's the LG stands for large, and DT stands for date. So let's go through all of them. The 1982 copper large date, the 1982 copper small date, the 1982 zinc large date, 1982 zinc small date, 1982 D copper large date, 1982 D zinc large date, 1982 D zinc small date. So they have all those different varieties. Now the way you can tell if they're zinc or copper, there's a few ways. I like to use a scale. So a zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams, and a copper penny weighs 3.11 grams. And so that's how you can tell if it's zinc or copper. Or you could take a zinc or copper one if you bounce it on the table. I forgot which one it is. I think the zinc one is the one that doesn't make sound, and the copper one makes sound. And it kind of has a ringing. And then there's the small date and large date. If you look at the 2 in 1982, the small date has this little bump coming out of it, like how you write it 2, it kind of has like a curve at the end of it, and then there's a straight line at the bottom. And the large date has just a straight line down. So that's for the zinc small date and the copper large date. Next time we'll have some pictures for you to show you of the difference between the large date and small date. If you got here, these ones just common sense, so pretty easy to find. And then you also got the 2009. This is the bicentennial year. So they got when he was young, the professional life, and then there's the president life, and then there's the early birth. So that's another thing to look out for. And there's also the satin finish that we'll talk about in a different video. And then these are the easy ones to find, except for one. I'll explain that in a minute. But this is 2014 to 2022D. Now, right now it's 2021, so these are impossible to find. Otherwise, my collection is pretty complete, except I need 2021 plain. And then there's a 2019 W. So W stands for West Point. You usually think of West Point, Virginia. You usually think of D, P, S, or S mint marks. Or Carson City. Carson City is in Nevada. D for Denver, Colorado. P for Philadelphia, and S for San Francisco, California. And then these are just easy to find. Now these ones are just varieties. There's lots of varieties that you can fill out. And that's for the whole history of the cents. Now I have other books that talk about Indian cents, large cents, flying eagle cents, but that we'll get to in another video. So that's my entire cent collection. We'll be back in 1 second to talk about another coin. Okay, I know everyone gets excited when someone brings up one of these. So everyone wants these, silver dollars. Now, silver dollars, you cannot pay with these in real banks because the price of silver goes up and down every day. So this is actually an Eisenhower dollar. I believe these are from, I got this book here. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I believe they're from 1971 to 1978. Let me get to the silver dollars in here. Okay, the beginning. Yeah, so they're from 1971 to 1978. So this is a 1978D, a common silver dollar. You can find these, but you're not going to get them from the bank because you can't pay with them, and the bank won't accept those or anything else. Now, beginning at the beginning of history, the first silver dollar was made in 1794. That's the flowing here, and then they have the drape bust, and then there's the seated Liberty, no moto, with moto, and there's the trade dollars. Trade dollars are from 1873 to 1885. And then the Morgan silver dollars. These are my personal favorites. Any of these you find is going to be between the value of $90 and $200, depending on the condition and if it had an error or not. So these run from 1878 to 1921. You can find these if you go to a company called Littleton Coin Company. They have a really good price, only $49.99, so very good price for that. And then this is after the Morgan silver dollar. This is a peace dollar. I actually got two. So this is a 1922. Now you have to look up like on a PCGS website or something, and it talks about the high relief and the normal relief. Now in 1921 and 1922, they were trying to make more high relief coins, which means you can see them a lot better and the stamp was a lot clearer. Now the high relief coins are worth a lot more money than the normal relief. These are just normal reliefs, but they're still worth about $117. I checked on the website. That's what when the website is selling them for each. So and I got two here, so this is worth about $128. And then I got an Eisenhower uncirculated mint state 60. I got this from Littleton Coin Company also. They sold it to me. And that's the silver dollar history. So that talks about it about silver dollars a little bit. And there's one more thing I'm going to talk about, which is this book right here. This is my absolute favorite coin book. This is Checklist and Record Book of United States and Canadian Coins. It's the official red book. So it says, let's see what it says on the front. Actual size illustrations, complete mintage records, half cents and gold coins, 1790s to the date, classic and modern commemorative coins, proof and mint cents, Canadian coins, 1850s to date, metal and tokens, bullion and bullion coins. So this has all the United States and Canadian coins that were ever made in history. Now this does not count counterfeit coins. It just counts coins that the U.S. made. So it starts off with large cents in the beginning here, and then large cents go from 1793 to 1857, and then they came out with the Flying Eagle cents, 1956 to 1958. Those are very rare. You're not going to find many of those. And then there's the Indian head. There's the Variety 1, with that's only in 1953. And then there's Variety 2 from 1960 to 1964. And then there's the Variety 3. That one's the most common. That's a bronze cent. The other ones were nickels. They were made out of clad, I believe. Let's see, what does it say? Copper nickel, okay. And then the Variety 3, that's all I have. I have one from 1873, and I have one from